Hi everyone, how are you? I'm actually doing a little Facebook Live tonight because I'm at the IGA Mount Cotton tomorrow and they've asked me to take a baked ham. And when I was in the office today chatting to everyone, it blew my mind how many people have never baked a Christmas ham. And I think when I asked why, the reason was, well, never done it before, don't know how to do it, too difficult, too time consuming. So I just thought, right, for those of you who've got 10 minutes here, hang with me because this is how easy it is to bake a ham. Now I've just preheated my oven, a fan forced oven, 160 degrees. So while I do that, what I'm going to do with my beautiful ham, now I just bought my ham this year at IGA. Why? The baseline ham is $6.99 and $6.99 a kilo, and it is smoked. So the second you take off the wrapper, you get this really beautiful thick aroma of ham. So a smoked ham adds flavor. And what do we love in the 4 ingredients food? Nothing more than flavor. Flavor to me is the most important ingredient in recipes of all kinds bar none. So you can see I just around the knuckle, and hello to everyone joining us, around the knuckle together tonight we are baking a ham, beautiful people. This is how easy it is. IGA's baseline ham, $6.99 a kilo. I have just cut an edge around the knuckle. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go up here to the top of my ham, and with a sharp knife I'm just going to loosen. Now what I did as well, I took this ham out of the fridge probably around about 3 hours ago, just to bring it, so my house is air conditioned, but just to bring it to sort of room temperature to make it easier to work with. So I removed all my jewelry, you can see, and I just slid the knife underneath the skin of the ham, and I am just working my way down to the cut in the knuckle. And now what I'm going to do, flip it, keep working it around the underside, and literally my ham skin is going to come off that easily. Okay, so that's, now don't throw this away, because what this actually does is acts as a great coat for your ham. So you can actually keep that, because if you're going to bake it today and keep it in your fridge in your ham bag, you could actually also keep this over the top of it, because it will help keep it nice and moist until, or for however long you want to keep it for. But we'll talk about ham storage in a second. So I'm just going to put that in my sink for a tab. So that's removing. Now I'm just going to turn it over, make sure everything. What I want to do now is just to remove a little bit of the excess fat. Okay, so you can see there's some sort of gristly, you may not be able to see it, there was just some gristly bits on the underside that I could see. That's my underside of the ham. This is my centerpiece. So this is what you're going to see on Christmas Day. This is what's going to, this is going to be on, the centerpiece of your table. So I'm just taking off a little bit of the extra fat, because we don't need all of that fat. We need a little, because fat gives us a lot of flavor, but we don't need all of it. So, okay, that's great. You can see my beautiful ham. Okay, mostly it's just all that lovely meat now. So once you've removed your outer skin, what you then want to do with your ham is score it. Now this is really easy. All I'm going to do, I'm just going to start, and I'm going to work my way, say, that's about a 2 centimeter, 1.5 centimeter apart. I'm scoring. So I'm just digging a little into the flesh, maybe 0.5 centimeter, and I'm cutting across my ham in 1.5 centimeter length. So hello to everyone. Now, come on, who here bakes ham? Does everyone do this? Colleen Hancock, mine's in the oven right now. My oven's on cold. Mine will be in here very soon. My hubby's just gone down to get a baguette for dinner. We're going to have some of this with mustard for dinner as well. Let me know who has never baked a ham, because this, I'm going to show you how to do it. It's so easy. So I'm just going to go down the side here as well. And once I've scored it, I'm going to show you how to glaze it. Now, I have glazed my hams, and I'd be interested to hear from you all. How do you glaze your hams? What do you use to glaze your hams? Who taught you the glaze? Did your mum, your nana, is this what you've seen them, or how you've seen them make their ham for the duration of your life? But My glaze today is just 2 ingredients, and all the glazes I have ever done, of all the honey, maple, mustard, pineapple, raspberry jam, star anise, all the combinations, apricot jams, etc. My 2 ingredient marmalade and clove, honestly, just pairs beautifully with the salty and smokiness of the ham. So for those of you that have just joined us, remember my IGA ham, it's the baseline ham at $6.99 a kilo, and it is smoked. So it is a good quality ham, and the ham is the centerpiece of your Christmas table. So try not to skimp on it. Try, and if you're on a budget like most of us are, try and allocate a little bit more to your ham so that you can get one that is smoked and has a really beautiful flavor. So I've just crisscross. That's really how I've scored my ham. I've gone across one way, and I just turned the ham, and I've gone across the other. Now at this point, what I want to do is slide it onto my baking tray. So come here, dear ham. There we go. Just move that little bit of that across there, because now I'm going to work with my ham on its glaze. Now my glaze today, I'm using just a jar of marmalade. Now why marmalade? It's got that sort of tart, that acidic citrus taste, but it's also got the sweetness that is jam. Jam is just fruit and sugar. And then when you pair it with the saltiness of the ham, oh my God, it's just explosive. It's so lovely. So I've done this one a couple of years, and everybody always asks me for the recipe. And when people ask you for the recipe of what you've made at Christmas time, you know you've got a winner. So I'm just going to dollop on now I've just bought Cotty's marmalade, probably because it was on sale, so whatever marmalade, that I'm just going to, now I put the jam on first, the marmalade first, and then I'm going to push in my cloves, because I just find it's easier than trying to dollop the jam around the clove, or put the cloves in, the jam over the cloves. So here's my marmalade, and I might just dollop some on after. So let me just wipe my little hands, and then I'm going to get my cloves. So I've used probably half a jar there, so approximately about 200 grams, I'd say, half a jar, 250, 300 of marmalade for my glaze. Now I've just got my cloves, and what I'm doing with my cloves, I'm going to start, and I'm going to tuck a beautiful flavorful clove into the edge where my diamond, because that's what happens when you score this way and then turn and score opposite, you get a beautiful diamond pattern. And I'm just putting the cloves into the edges of that little diamond pattern. So this really is the longest part of the whole activity, pushing in the cloves. So, it's just the ham. So remove the skin, score it, and then marmalade and cloves. Now I have preheated the oven 160 degrees. It's a fan forced oven, 160 degrees. And I'm just going to put my beautiful ham in there to bake for around about an hour. So it's going into the lower third of the oven. So remember, heat rises and it will burn your marmalade. So put it in the lower third of your oven, the lower section of your oven, and bake for around about an hour to an hour, maybe an hour 15. But I'm just going to get it out every 30 minutes and reapply the glaze, because it will fall. So I'll just reapply. And you'll see tomorrow, when I'm going to do a live from Mount Cotton IGA tomorrow, you'll see my ham there. And if you live in the area, make sure you come down and say hello. But because we're giving away so many different things as well. Brand new opening of that beautiful store. But that's all I do. That is this year's Christmas ham, and it's made with the ham, with a jar of marmalade and some cloves. And it, beautiful people, is beautiful. And it's easy. It's much more manageable, right? When you bring your ham, bring it out of the fridge before you start trying to remove the skin, about an hour or two beforehand, I find. Because for those of you at the start, you saw how I just pulled off that skin really, really easily. So much, much more manageable when you bring it out at the start. But I won't hold you all up here showing you how to do this. You can see how I'm starting to put the cloves in wherever the little diamond pattern joins or crosses. That's where the cloves going. So Veronica Brady, hi from the Central Coast. I've never tried to bake a ham, but I'm watching intensely, and we'll give it a go. Veronica, that is the precise reason I thought I'm going to show you how to do this live tonight, because in the office today, there's probably about 12 people, and me and my office manager and I, Betty Grandma, were the only two that have ever baked a ham. I couldn't believe it. It's so easy. It's so easy. So once you've baked your ham, okay, 160 fan force for an hour, glaze after 30 minutes. Once you've baked your ham too, I'm going to serve it on Christmas Day on a beautiful Christmas platter surrounded by beautiful, ripe, fresh, plump cherries. Okay, so I'll probably do a whole messy of salads and seasonal roast veggies with it. But once Christmas is over, don't throw that ham out. So what you want to do to store it for as long as you can and as healthy as you can, get a just a big bowl of cold water, add a quarter cup of white vinegar to it, or vinegar really, stir it, and then get your ham bag and soak it for about 2 to 3 minutes. Squeeze it, wring it out of all the excess liquid, and then just put your ham into your ham bag. Now, if you do that, now you're going to have to refresh that ham bag in that sort of diluted vinegar solution every 3 days. But if you do that, this beautiful smoked ham will last fresh in your fridge for 2 to 3 weeks. So, and you know, ham is a really versatile ingredient. Think of it for your quiche, Lorraine. Think of it in your muffins. I will slice a big round off my ham and I will push it into my muffin case, and I will use that as the base of, rather than pastry, you know, as a brunch during Christmas and New Year. Into that, I'll just crack 1 or 2 eggs, a little bit of grated cheese and some fresh parsley, and bake at 180 degrees for about 30 minutes. And there's a beautiful ham and egg quiche. So there's 1,000 things that you can do with leftover ham. And, you know, just check out our Facebook page and our website for more tips on that, you know, as Christmas unfolds. But there you go. For those of you, Rebecca Costa never cooked a ham. I cannot believe how many people have never cooked a ham. Donna Lee, didn't even know you could bake a ham. Absolutely. So your ham's already cooked, you know, it's smoked. This one's smoked. So all you're doing basically is glazing it. So, and what that does, it just gives it offsets that nice smoky saltiness by giving it that really nice sweet flavor with your marmalade. And then you've just got this really, the odd sort of little hint of spice with your cloves. It's beautiful. So for all of those that I can see everyone going off now, joining us to bake your ham, I took my ham out of the fridge, rested it. I took the skin, the coat of the ham off really easily. Everyone saw me do that. Remove your jewelry first, and then score it, marmalade, and then into the diamond pattern, into the corners where the diamond intersects, push your clove. Bake it. You're going to bake it on your baking tray for around about 1 hour, and just glaze every sort of, 25, 20 minutes sort of thing. And that's it. And your ham's still beautiful. It's still really lovely, but it gives you this really golden, crunchy exterior, which pairs beautifully with that smoky, salty, moist interior of your ham. And it just looks good. And there's a myriad of glazes. Another really popular one when I was growing up, Mum would get the juice out of a tin of pineapples with some brown sugar, maybe a little bit of honey or mustard, and then she'd keep the pineapple rings, but she'd reduce down that syrup. It's really quite nice and thick. So again, she'd just do the same thing. You don't have to score your ham for this one though. So you just remove the coat, and then you get your brown sugar, your pineapple juice, and you just reduce it down, maybe a little bit of honey or ground mustard if you wanted to, reduce it down, and then you coat your ham so it's nice and sticky, and you put your pineapple rings over your ham, and then in the middle with a little toothpick, you put a beautiful big plump glacé red cherry, and then glaze it again. And if it starts to fall off the sides, just put it in with a little bit of a toothpick. But that's a really beautiful ham too. Again, it's just probably an hour, 45 minutes to an hour in a 160-degree oven. So, and that's it. There you go. Bake your ham this year, because honestly, it is a Christmas table centerpiece showstopper. This is my centerpiece, and it's ham, marmalade, and cloves. But guess what, beautiful people? It's good. Everyone loves it. It's sweet, it's salty, it's got that tartness of the orange. It's really, really delicious. So that's how you bake your ham. What I will do, because this has gone off, I will actually bake it and then I'll bring it out and I'll take a picture of it and I'll post it at the top of this post in about an hour's time when it comes out of the oven. Otherwise, join me tomorrow at 9 o'clock as well, because that's where I'll have it and we'll be giving it away as taste testing at the opening of the Mount Cotton IGA. So what happened to the other lady that was with you some years ago? Matthew Weber, Rachel, so 4 Ingredients started 11 years ago and I bought Rachel out about 7 years ago. We wrote 4 books together and I've gone on to write 30 more books since. So she still lives on the sunny coast as well and happy rearing her beautiful 3 boys. Natasha Nilsson, do you use the melted jam on the tray or apply new jam? No, I will scoop the jam up and I will put it over, but if the jam is burning, depending upon your oven and all the rest of it, just add a little bit of new jam as well. So, you know, you'll get the gist of it, or you'll see that it should be really nice and golden and, you know, sort of sticky as well by the time it comes out at the end of the hour, but you'll all see. So Leanne Jasper, hello darling, where are your beautiful helpers today? So 1 is at the wake part and 2 have just come back from shopping with Daddy and they are blissfully and silently playing Xbox. So having said that, they'll be down here with Gusto at about an hour's time when this comes out. So I'm serving a salad and a baguette for dinner tonight and then taking all the leftover tomorrow to Mount Cotton IGA. So there you are, beautiful people. I won't rub it on any longer, although I could because I love interacting with you and I'm, you know, just so surprised at how many have never tried to bake a ham before when it's so easy. So just keep it simple. Ham, marmalade and cloves. 160 degree, 1 hour, baste a couple of times. Bob's your uncle, or not. But anyway, there you go, my loves. What am I doing tomorrow? When you see me go live tomorrow, make sure you join in because I'm going to show you how to build an amazing cheese wheel tower. Live from an IGA store in Mount Cotton. So, and it's a cracker. It's just a different take on a, you know, sort of usual cheese platter. It's really good. But I'm going to continue to push the cloves into my ham and get it in the oven, but you don't need to see all of that. So half a cup of brown sugar, half a jar of mustard, half a jar of marmalade, and bake for an hour. Best ham glaze. So this is Donna Crane. I love your tips. I love. Half a cup of brown sugar, half a jar of mustard. So I'm assuming seeded mustard, Donna, and then half a jar of marmalade. And so you would reduce it down, I guess, do you? And then you put it on your ham. Best glaze for a ham. Do you have to cook all hams? Lee, your hams, if you buy it at the supermarket, are already cooked. They're smoked. They're beautiful. You can just buy them and start cook. But this is just the way to bake a ham for a Christmas centerpiece. And it just sort of transforms your simple everyday ham into something really quite spectacular when you're entertaining or got to take a ham this year. And it's just done so simply. So what's the best type of ham to choose? Christy Watts, to me, you've got to look for a smoked ham. Smoked means flavour, and flavour, you need a ham that tastes like ham. I can smell this ham now. So this is just the baseline IGA ham that I bought, $6.99 a kilo, available in every IGA store across the country, of which there are 1,400, so you're bound to find one somewhere, for $6.99 a kilo. So this big, beautiful, you know, piece here cost me about $18. No. This was about 2.5 kilos, so maybe a little more, but you know, it wasn't a huge amount, and it's going to serve a lot of people. So go for smoked, definitely bone-in as well. A bone-in ham has been made in Australia, so bone-in ham definitely, because we're supporting you know, Aussie farmers, our pork farmers, and then smoked. They're my 2, and around that $6.99 a kilo. That's what you want for your baseline ham this year. So all right, lovely people, better keep going. Got dinner to think about. 3 hungry, 4 hungry men in my family to feed. So bake your ham this year. Honestly, your guests will love it. See, recipe what cookbook out of 4 ingredient celebrations. That's the actual recipe there. So page 88. So, you know, but like I said before, I'll actually put it in the oven, take it out and take a photo of it and show you all as well. Bye everyone. Christine Shields, hello from Cairns. Well, hello darling. Hope all in Cairns is going really well. Dottie Swan, is this in one of your books? Yes, 4 ingredient celebrations. Celebrations is my go-to entertainer. So I cook a lot from it at Christmas time because, well, I entertain a lot at Christmas time, so that's why as well. Robin O'Neill, my daughter glazed her ham like this. So yummy. It is, and it's so good. She suggested smoked. Definitely, when you are buying a ham, get a smoked ham. The baseline IGA ham this year, though, is smoked. So for those of you that live near a Cornet supermarket, which is most of Queensland, their baseline ham is double smoked, double flavour. So, and it's still $6.99 a kilo as well. So that's really good value. But anyway, any questions, just ask me here. I'm more than happy to help you out if I possibly can. But ham, marmalade, and close. Let's all bake ham together this Christmas. See you, love. See you tomorrow. Have a great night. Bye.